It's 2041. Dr. Fuchs reviews a mission profile. Not a rocket, a warp test vessel. Destination Pluto's orbit. Round trip 61 hours. The quantum leap. Today we trace the 1994 paper that made this possible. The quantum leap drops you into the future it builds. In 1994, a physicist read Star Trek and rewrote physics. Alcubierre proved general relativity permits space-time compression. Space contracts ahead. Space expands behind, no g-force. From inside the bubble, no acceleration, no time dilation. The physics worked. The energy problem, a decade's solar output. 10 to the 45th joules. Cosmologically large. An impossible starting point. Alcubierre's math was right. The universe is flexible. General relativity doesn't forbid warp geometry, it describes it. Published in Classical and Quantum Gravity, not fringe. The community's response was not dismissal, it was engagement. The 1990s brought the first wave of serious follow-up papers. Every physicist who studied it hit one wall: exotic matter. Exotic matter, negative energy density, never observed in sufficient quantity. This breaks the weak energy condition core physics rule. One nuance: the Casimir effect produces measurable negative energy, not enough for warp, but the concept isn't fiction. Clarification: warp drive could work is peer-reviewed. Details are unsettled. Our generation watched Interstellar. Thorne made that wormhole scientifically real. Thorne told the director, "We use real physics or nothing." Scientists who watched Contact in 1997 are now building this. In 2012, Harold White at NASA Eagleworks proposed oscillating bubble geometry, 30 plus orders of magnitude less energy, still enormous, but no longer more than the universe. Progress. Every refinement shrank the wall. The trajectory was set. Now, what does the science say? What doesn't it? Loop 1. The exotic matter wall. What broke it? Eric Lentz at Göttingen had a different idea in 2021. What if you restructure the geometry with positive energy only? Lentz proposed solitonic drives, positive energy shells reshaping spacetime, preprint. But it opened a door nobody had tried. We had to check a Lentz preprint twice. Then 2024, Applied Physics published a decisive paper. Jared Fuchs, constant velocity, subluminal warp drive, positive energy, zero exotic matter. Smoke ring energy pattern creates gravitational transport, no g-force. This is peer-reviewed, not preprint. A complete published solution. The cost: Fuchs drive runs subluminal. FTL temporarily sacrificed. Subluminal warp has value. Pluto in 61 hours transforms everything. Applied Physics built warp factory. Open source simulation software. Any physicist can now test warp geometries. Free tool. Applied Physics launched the Warp Fund. $500,000. Real money. Real physics. That's institutional investment, not hype. Loop 1. Exotic matter requirement gone. The field is open. Loop 2. Energy. How far down does it stop? 1994. Mass of Jupiter needed. The starting point was cosmological. Which refinement cuts energy next? Drop your prediction here. 2012. White's oscillating model. 30 plus orders of magnitude off. White's interferometer then claimed anomalous results. The community noticed. White acknowledged the signals were likely measurement artifact. That's honesty. His NASA departure was the field's deflation signal. Context matters. Then Javid and Wilson Ewing, 2026, physical review letters. They tested ER EPR hydrogen, the tightest constraint ever. Null result. No ER EPR signal at the predicted scale. ER EPR constrained to 1 million times smaller than estimated. What we find remarkable, null results of precision tools. Luke 3, the horizon problem, the obstacle nobody discusses. Inside a superluminal warp bubble, the pilot is completely blind. They can't reach the bubble's front wall. Physics prevents it. Pre-program your destination before entering the field. No course corrections. Notario for FTL warp, it is fundamental, not engineering. Notario's 2026 assessment, superluminal warp travel is likely impossible. This applies to superluminal speeds. Fuchs subluminal drive differs. In 2026, and Thiele's WarpAx toolkit found something unexpected. Real weak energy violations in warp shell models. The problem persists. Bouchert and Frakowak found something more troubling. Generic instability. The warp bubble may spontaneously collapse before reaching its destination. Here's the paradigm shift, from a direction nobody anticipated. Warp drive and quantum gravity look separate. They aren't. Maldacena and Susskind published the most audacious conjecture yet. ER equals EPR. Einstein-Rosen bridges equal Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen pairs. Quantum entanglement is a microscopic wormhole. Every pair connected. Every quantum computer with entangled qubits has wormholes inside. Maldacena spent a career stating this. He has been right. His 1997 ADS/CFT paper is among the most cited in physics. If ER equals EPR holds, wormholes are the fabric of quantum reality. This changes the warp energy calculation in ways nobody grasps. Evidence hierarchy. ER equal EPR is conjecture, peer-reviewed, not replicated fact. The 2026 Jabed-Wilson-Ewing test. Tightest constraint ever on ER EPR. Hydrogen, simplest atom. Its quantum mechanics can be calculated exactly. If ER EPR is real, hydrogen spectral lines would deviate. No deviation. Effects 1 million times smaller than predicted. This version rarely makes headlines. That is how science works. ER equals EPR survives. Refined, not refuted. The wormhole thesis intact. Warp needs quantum gravity. Quantum gravity produces wormholes. Unexpected. Warp drive mathematics now constrains quantum gravity theories as well. Even if never built, warp drive is humanity's theory laboratory. It requires GR and quantum mechanics to cooperate. Nothing else. GR with QM, physics unsolved problem 1. Warp sits there. 2041. Dr. Fuchs at her console. What does she know? Exotic matter. Solved since 2024. Positive energy geometry. Peer-reviewed. Steering problem. Redesigned around via subluminal geometry. Destination pre-programmed. Instability. Identified 2026. 17 years of refinement potentially resolved. Energy still enormous, but the reduction rate has no parallel. 30 orders in 30 years. No technology matched this trajectory. 2 futures. 2041 it works, or stays a lab. The difference isn't more physics. It's engineering and sustained funding. Warp Factory is running at over a dozen institutions worldwide. Applied Physics Warp Fund is backing real academic research now. White did not stop. His Casimir startup pursues quantum vacuum. The 2021 DARPA Casimir experiment created a nanoscale warp distortion. They were studying Casimir forces. They found something unplanned. Science. Star Trek to Alcubierre to physicists to open source tools. Roddenberry wanted physics-based FTL. The technical manual cited real GR. Alcubierre read it in 1994. Changed the question forever. 30 years made this possible. The next 30 decide everything. The answer isn't one field away. It's at the intersection. Phase 4. What does this mean to 50 years ahead? First lesson. The universe permits more than we initially assumed. GR was supposed to forbid FTL. Alcubierre showed the opposite. The universe has unread pages. Warp drive physics is one. Second lesson. SF isn't science's enemy. It's science's scout. Star Trek cited GR. Alcubierre read it. Applied physics followed. Third lesson. Trajectory predicts the future, not current position. 30 orders in 30 years. Moore's law. 15 in 60. Warp drive is improving faster than any technology humanity built. What does this mean for the children born today? If reduction continues historically, the 2060s become very interesting. The 2060s may yield the first laboratory warp field measurement. Not a vehicle, a measurement, like Sputnik before the moon. The civilization measuring a warp field first sets the agenda. DARPA, applied physics, warp factory distribution, institutional signals. Institutional money follows institutional belief. Institutions are starting to believe. The engagement framework. 3 numbers to track going forward. 1. Energy declining. 2. Instability resolved. Both must happen. 3. Field measurement by 2060s. All 3 converging makes 2041. Fuchs et al. arXiv 2000. 405 2709 is free. Warp Factory is open source. Any physicist with a laptop can contribute to warp research. In one future, warp becomes fusion, always 20 years away. In another, 2026 data supports breakthrough before 2060. The difference, 20 laboratories running Warp Factory right now. We grew up watching Interstellar. Thor made that wormhole real. That film, 2014. Fuchs Subluminal paper, 2024. A decade apart. Graduate students who saw that film are publishing 2024 papers. First time since 1969. A real path to interplanetary travel, not 20 years away. A specific framework under active refinement. That first person on another world may already be alive. Future verdict, instant FTL probably stays science fiction. Fuchs drive subluminal gravitational transport is now engineering, not fiction. If ER equals EPR holds, wormholes exist in every quantum computer. The wormhole infrastructure is deployed. We just can't use it. Watch 3 concurrent developments. Warp Factory, Casimir's startup, ER equal EPR constraints. The warp drive story is written now in peer-reviewed papers. Alcubierre 1994 free online. Fuchs 2024 free on arXiv. The quantum leap traces what is real. This is real. When does the first warp field measurement happen? Predict below. Next, the Fermi paradox signal. Full breakdown pinned.